Hello everyone, this is Mr. H again, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn about plotting of points on the coordinate plane. But first, let me show you what a coordinate plane looks like. Alright, so what you're seeing right now is a blank coordinate plane. We also call it a Cartesian plane. This coordinate plane right here is where all the graphing happens. Alright, but first you need to get familiar with the parts of the coordinate plane. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is what we call the axis. Okay, so there are two axes here. So the first one is this horizontal number line right here, so we call it the x-axis. The other axis is the y-axis, which is the vertical number line. Alright, so the other part that I want to talk to you about is the origin. So this is the intersection of the x-axis and the y-axis. So that's where all the counting will start. Basically, the location of that is at 0, 0, which are what we call the coordinates. So later I will explain that to you. So the other thing is what we call the quadrants. So this Cartesian plane or coordinate plane has 4 different quadrants, okay? This quadrant right here, the upper right, so that's the first quadrant. So over here, upper left is the second quadrant. So lower left, the third quadrant, and lower right, the fourth quadrant. Alright, so those are the 4 different quadrants that divide a Cartesian plane. And I'm sure some of you have learned what a point is, so that's one important geometric term. Say for example, I put a point here, say point A. So you know that every point is named using a capital letter. And each point consists of the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. So the first number or the first coordinate is always the x. And the movement of the x-coordinate from the origin is either going to the right if it's positive and going to the left if the coordinate is negative. Alright, let me write something here. So for the x-coordinate, on the other hand, for the y-coordinate is the second number. Definitely the y-coordinate, you'll be looking at the y-axis. Alright, so for the y-coordinate, the directions will be either going up if the y value or y coordinate is positive, and going down if the value is negative. Since this point is inside quadrant 1, definitely the sign of the x coordinate and y coordinate will be both positive. Alright, now if I put a point in quadrant 2, so point B, since point B is in quadrant 2, definitely the x-coordinate will be negative and the y-coordinate will be positive. Alright, if there is a point in quadrant 3, for example, point C here, definitely the coordinates of point C will be x-coordinate will have negative sign as well as the y-coordinate. And if you have a point in quadrant 4, say this is point D, definitely x will have a positive sign while the y-coordinate will have a negative sign. Alright, so basically if you want to identify the coordinates of every point, you just need to count the units from the origin, following these 2 directions for the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. All right, so to further understand this, let's take a look at the first example. Plot the following points on the coordinate plane. So we were given point P with coordinates 3, comma, -4, point Q with coordinates -1, comma, 0, and point R with coordinates 5, comma, 5. So let's plot first point P. All right, so point P has coordinates 3, comma, -4. You can see that the x-coordinate 3 is positive and y-coordinate is -4. The first thing that we need to do is to consider the x-coordinate. X-coordinate is 3. So from the origin, 0, 0. So we count 3 units to the right. 1, 2, 3. And you stop there. The next thing you need to consider is the y-coordinate, which is -4. -4, since it's negative, definitely will be going down 4 units from where we stopped. Okay, so we stopped here. Then we count 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where the point is. Point P. The next point is point Q, which has coordinates of -1, 0. If you want to answer this, feel free to pause the video. So maybe you're questioning, the y-coordinate is 0. So if you see 0 there, whether it's in the x-coordinate or y-coordinate, definitely 0 tells you you're not moving. All right, so but the first thing that we need to consider is the x-coordinate, which is -1. So that means -1, that is a negative value. So that means from the origin, 0, 0, we will go 1 unit to the left. 1. Then we stop there. And since the y-coordinate is 0, that means we stop there completely. So that means the point Q is here. That's point Q. And the last point is point R with coordinates 5, comma, 5. So both of the coordinates are positive. Definitely that point will land in quadrant 1. So we start counting from the origin. So 5 units to the right. And then you stop here. And you go up 5 units for the y-coordinate. So this is where the point is. All right, so remember to label the point. All right, so if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. All right, so let's take a look at the second example. We need to identify the coordinates of each point. So it's a reverse process of what we did in example 1. For point A, so point A is in quadrant 1. So from the origin, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 to the right and 2 up. So the coordinates of point A are 5, comma, 2. All right, feel free to pause the video if you want to answer the rest of the question first. All right, so let's take a look at point B. You can see point B is not in any quadrant, so it's on the y-axis. All right, so the x-coordinate will be 0 because we're not moving or we're not going to either right or left. So we just stay there at the origin. So x-coordinate will be 0. However, we need to go down 4 units. So the y-coordinate is -4. And point C will be, so it's in quadrant 2. So from the origin, we count 3 units to the left. 1, 2, 3. So that's -3. And we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 units up. Alright, so point D in quadrant 3. So from the origin, we count 1 unit to the left. So x-coordinate is -1. And from here, we go 1 down. And for the last point E is in quadrant 4. So in quadrant 4, x-coordinate is positive and y-coordinate is negative. Okay, so from the origin, we count 2 units to the right, so +2. And then we go down 3 units down, so it will be -3. Alright, so that's all for this video. So if you think that this video is insightful, please give me a thumbs up, share the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, so please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Alright, so once again, this is Mr. H, and thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.